There are good series, there are bad series, and then there's this series. Hey everyone, Templar74 here with another episode of Poke Talk. That's right, everybody, your ears are not deceiving you. Templar74 is back with another episode of Poke Talk. After a long-awaited hiatus, I am back. Now, today's discussion is about Sun and Moon anime as a whole, and really one of the big reasons, it's not the main reason, but it's one of the big reasons why I haven't done Poke Talk in a while, and that is the Sun and Moon anime. Now, as you guys know, Sun and Moon anime is on episode 76, I believe now. I can't remember if it's 76 or 75 due to the 1 hour special, because most people count that as one episode, they don't count it as two. But anyway, that whole 1 hour special aside, that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is basically giving my thoughts on Sun and Moon as a series and what I think about the Pokemon anime at this point. Now, before I go on and discuss this in depth here, I want to let you guys know that unlike some other Poke Talk discussions in the past, this video is completely unscripted. This is just my thoughts on Sun and Moon as they come to me, so please bear with me if I start rambling, and without further ado, let's talk about it. So, Sun and Moon, I have actually seen pretty much the same debate we see every single Pokemon generation. There are the people that say it is ungodly horrible, don't watch it, it's worse than Black and White. And then there are these people that think it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Now, I'm definitely not in the camp saying it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. I love my sliced bread, but Sun and Moon is definitely not the greatest series they've ever had. But at the same time, it's definitely not the worst series they've ever had. I still, to this day, hold that Sun and Moon is not the worst series. That title goes exclusively to the Black and White anime. And why do I feel this way? That is because Sun and Moon is different. And that's why I stressed at the beginning there are good series, there are bad series, there are different series. Now, for me, growing up in the Gen 1 era, Pokemon to me has always been a traveling journey anime. We see battles go on every other episode, traveling across a region towards a specific goal, i.e. a league. And Sun and Moon, well, Sun and Moon chose to go a different route. Sun and Moon is not really Pokemon, in my opinion, right at the moment. Sun and Moon is basically like a Pokemon slapstick comedy hybrid thing with a bit of school humor to it, which is fine if you love that kind of stuff. Me, I really don't. The school kind of animes really have to do something outstanding to catch my attention, or else they typically don't. So Sun and Moon, fell into that category for me. Now, I will stress, people will probably refer to me as a XYZ fanboy. In the comments, they'll put a dislike on this video and then they'll leave. Now, like I said before, I'm not saying Sun and Moon is bad. To me, Sun and Moon is just different. It's not really Pokemon anymore. Like back, and I'm going to go back to XY and XY and Z, not because I'm a fanboy, but because it's the most recent example we have. Back in XY and XY and Z days, I could remember every single Thursday throwing my bag down after my morning classes, firing up the computer, going right onto Twitter, and see, the highlights of the episode, get really hyped for it, go right to the anime site, download it, watch it right then and there, and enthusiastically do a video probably like 5 minutes after I've watched the episode. Sun and Moon, with very few exceptions, I look at the highlights on Twitter, I'm like, do I really have to watch this? And that's not because it's bad. I mean, there are a lot of things that I really like about Sun and Moon, and I'll just name off a few of them right here. The battle animations are spectacular. The battles, when we see them, and that's a rant video for another day, but when we do see the battles, they're great. I love Rowlet. I like Midday Lycanroc. I love Torracat and its development. It's some of the best Pokemon development that we've had in an anime series so far. Of course, we got to include Mallow, Lily's development, Gladion and Sylvie, the Ultra Beasts. All that stuff was done phenomenally well. In fact, I remember when the Ultra Adventure arc first began, and we saw the first signs of Lily development. We saw Gladian and Sylvie come in for the first time. I remember those were actually days where it was just like XY. I would run in here, I would get right in front of my computer, check the highlights, download the episode, watch it immediately, and very happily go through and do a video about it 5 minutes later. But they're just, Sun and Moon, I had that hype there for a while, and then it went right back down. And now I've got that hype again now that we're in Ula Ula, because I have seen those episodes so far. Azorla? Sorry, I can't pronounce that right off the top of my head this morning. But anyway, her character is simply adorable. Her and Nanu, they are great so far. Ula Ula is showing a lot of promise. The battle between Ash and Nanu was really good. Can't wait to see the training with Tapu Bulu here next episode, which will be here in a couple of days upon recording of this video. So there are arcs, there are episodes where my excitement is at peak level and I'll happily turn it on and watch it. But it's just one of those things where it's a roller coaster. And like I said earlier, it just isn't Pokemon right at the moment. Maybe that's why I'm not as enthusiastic about doing anime videos every week like I was. Of course, there are other reasons behind it too. Show Pro and, of course, going back to school are two of the other big reasons. But that's the main one right now, is that Pokemon just isn't Pokemon to me right at the moment. Now, I know, like I said earlier, there are going to be people that are going to call me XYXYZ fanboy, completely biased, never going to give it a fair shot. They're going to hit a dislike on this video and they're going to leave. And then there are going to be those people that see what I'm saying here and agree with me, or there's going to be these people here that think I'm wrong for even saying that Sun and Moon is different. But like I said in the first part of this video, it's not bad and it's not good. It's just different. And I think it is impossible to judge Sun and Moon on a Pokemon scale because it's not Pokemon anymore. I mean, it's so hard to even rate this series because it just did so many things that were different. Now, I know a couple of months ago, well, actually now a couple years ago rather, when Sun and Moon was first announced, I actually was advocating for something different in the Pokemon anime, but I never thought we'd get this kind of different where it just didn't feel like Pokemon anymore. But, I guess you get what you ask for. Oh well, maybe hope with Gen 8 on that. But anyway, like I said, that whole rant aside, it's just not Pokemon. And I think it's impossible to scale Sun and Moon on any kind of Pokemon index as far as ranking a series because it's so different. And that's why when I see on Twitter, I see on Discord, and I see on all these servers here, I see people comparing Sun and Moon to XY or Sun and Moon to whatever. It's impossible to do. I'm sorry, it's just like a pointless discussion to me. I see this on Twitter and I see it on YouTube. I'm like, why are we even discussing this? Because I feel that Sun and Moon can't even be ranked in a Pokemon category anymore because it's just simply not Pokemon. It's like some kind of Pokemon hybrid. It was kind of like those great people at Show Pro, as great as they are with some of their shows, and well, some of them not so much, just took the Pokemon anime, threw it in the blender, along with a couple of school-related animes. Oh, and they're like, let's throw in some of this for good measure. Let's throw in some other anime shows that kind of follow this formula that we're following now, and hit the speed button on the blender, mix it up, and this is what we got. I'm not a big fan of this as a formula as a whole. Like I said, it just doesn't feel like Pokemon anymore. And it really annoys me that people on here are comparing like XY and X, Y, and Z, Sinnoh, whatever, to Sun and Moon, or Sun and Moon to Gen 1. I'm like, you can't do it. I mean, it's not Pokemon anymore. It's kind of pointless to discuss this because you're comparing apples and oranges here, in my opinion. So anyway, like I said, those are my unscripted thoughts about Sun and Moon as a whole. It's not good, and it's not bad. It's different. Like I said, there are certain arcs, certain episodes that I was more than happy to come sit right down, watch the episode, record a video about it 5 minutes later, and be all hyped for it. But then there are these breaks, and it's just... Now, of course, Pokemon has always had a problem with pacing in its animes. It's one of its biggest downfalls because every 3 years they hit the reset button. So you don't get to do a lot of the things that you do in the games, and sometimes, the show's pacing has to take a back seat, and you have to do trade-offs here. It's annoying, and it's something that Pokemon, I don't think, has ever really nailed down in its 20-year history. But this is just one of those things where it's like, this is way out here. Because, we went right from school and a first Kahuna battle. Then we went right into Ultra Beasts. And then we went right back to school. And then we went right back to Ula Ula. And we also learned about the League. And we learned about this. And we learned about this. It's just like so much is coming at you out of nowhere. It's like, dodge, 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 dodge. But it's, it is what it is. So anyway, like I said before, those are my unscripted thoughts about Sun and Moon. It's kind of half and half for me, to be honest with you guys. There's about, I can't even count them off the top of my head. There are about good 45, 50 episodes that I was more than happy to watch and would sit down and watch and be all hyped for. And then there was like an equal amount where it's like, really? Really? But I digress on that whole point. Like I said, not good, not bad, just different. But as always, whatever I think about the series, people are going to call me what they're going to call me. They're going to agree with me if they're going to agree with me. They're going to hate me if they hate me. But as always, in the comments section down below, let me know what you guys think about Sun and Moon so far. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you think it's just there? Do you think I'm right about the whole it's kind of impossible to judge it on a Pokemon scale because it's not Pokemon anymore? I'm really interested to get your guys' take on this. So please let me know in the comments section down below what you guys think, because as always, I enjoy hearing from you. All right, everyone. As always, Templar74 signing off. Have a great day, everybody. I'll talk to you all next time. Goodbye, everybody.